it will display yes, make the spelling there are no reasons. Yes, oh yes, yes. You can see she has a transparent transparent.
Although I you know, if you go on Facebook, you can but I think you have to join soon together. So I don't know if you can get on.
Yeah, well, we will see three cameras. We are supposed to share myself and he. Yeah.
Okay. All right, huh?
Because we're so good.
One, two, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Yeah. Lads, we're going to start there now in the next minute, okay? Come on, Gav. Steve. So, Dave agus fáilte rovis me se Julie Gooban and Tia Nocht. Ní rás an sola fada, so biggie fine ochlum lever dull if I make a balls, but I haven't been here in a while, so I'm trying to remember the way things go. Fáilte rov gachéine agus gohara or Vilia Nocht, Joanne agus Eoin. So Mars Gano, we're going to start with the 5-word challenge, then we'll have a Suscara, a quick break. Then we'll have our 2 guest poets reading, Suscara Darish, another quick break, and then we'll finish off with the open mic. So I have the list here with the open mic, for the open mic, so Inishgoma ha faunart Donna Lev no Arana Hannah no Martin. So we're going to start with the 5-word challenge. Tá cuig okaluing, so we need 5 words, please. 5 lovely random words. If you want to shout them out. You'll have about 10 minutes, 10 Irish minutes to write a poem, and beg chance to go and dawn a lev agus a reintling and Jim, must me and that.
We have silk from Pam.
We have?
Silk.
Oh, we have a word already. Agus Steve, our friends are Erlina, hello everybody online, and Pam has given us the word silk, beautiful word, silk.
Dinner.
From Olga Patricia, dinner.
We have lark from Jeff.
We have lark. So we have silk, dinner, lark,
Chrome.
chrome. chrome, Eoin. Intricate. I just want to thank you all for no one saying Eurovision, Gurmahagat. Intricate. Okay. So we have silk, dinner, lark, chrome, and intricate. Gurmina Magat. Gnairi live.
I know you now. No, I think it's slan. I think it's slan like crack.
Intricate. It's really fine detail. Like if, well, that's like really intricate craftsmanship. That's the way I see it. I'll leave it longer now. Government leis scéal tuair mí cúpla nó méid eile díobh. Okay. Couple more minutes. 5 more minutes to complete your masterpiece, no pressure. Right, so Regling. So this is where you have a choice to share your words with us or not. If you're in doubt, I think always share. You're going to regret it otherwise when you go home, maybe. There's a fantastic prize. My God, we've got 4 beautiful books. Yeah, they're all absolutely amazing, including the latest Unfinished Book of Poetry 2024. Absolutely beautiful poems in there, and 3 other books. So that's some prize. Yeah, so there's a drink as well behind the bar. The main thing is the books. Yeah. Nas, yeah. Oh yeah, and the Uncope, the Nas going. Both of tonight's poets are actually featured in this edition of Nas. So yeah, gonna dáanta léite gom so maisiú. So Reigling, bhfuil duine going chun an státe hógant. Fair play. Good man. Thanks, Antonio. Okay.
Hi, Antonio here. My poem is called The Square. The beauty has an intricate secret. Sometimes is left behind a shining motorbike chrome. Other time flies on a lurk. And from that hard substance comes out a tiny promise, light as silk, that surrounds the night lamps. In one instance, the sight has given word to the benches. A homeless was redesigning a spiritual dinner, just a breath before the square. Thank you.
Thank you, and for going first as well. Well done. I should have said as well, it's yourselves that determine the winner of the 5-word challenge. So if you like a poem, give it a clap or a whoop or whatever, because it's you determine the winner. I'm just listening closely to your response. Aine Ella, Liverpool. Oh, to Jeff or Alina. Jeff, you there? Hello.
Me?
Yep, off you go.
My turn?
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay. I ate a dress for dinner. The dress was made of silk. I ate it with a side of socks and glass of chocolate milk. I normally don't dine on clothes. It just seemed like a lark, something to brag about with all the cool kids in the park. The dress design was intricate. It must have cost a lot, all custom made for a movie star at some fashionable spot. I searched for that silk dress online, but had to use Firefox since Chrome just wasn't working on my obsolete desktop. And finally, I found it, priced at 30 million bucks. I could have sold the dress instead of eating it. That sucks. That's as far as I got. Not sure you can go anywhere else.
Thanks, Jeff. Well done. I'll just let the next person take the mic. You might tell me your name if I don't know you as well, please.
Sea blue. The sky's silk blue embeds a bright chrome coin that casts its reflecting shine across the twilight city. The fire jubilee lie into their intricate weaves of twigs and blades. Black cat in the field is on boundary guard, had his dinner at home, only plays until night falls cold. While humans stir the coals in the hearth, light the fires by the sea, Greet the chrome coin in the silk of darkness and begin the celebrations of summer.
Blue. Yeah, there should be at least 6 more.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Let's have Cocoa Pops for dinner and wear nothing but silk scarves as we bird watch on the unmowed lawn, counting robins, jackdaws, larks. Let's paint each other's faces chrome and play ukulele so well the neighbours learn our names just to compliment us. Let's learn to jive and slut drop and peel mangoes with our tongues. Let's not care about the intricate detail of any contract and sell our souls to the ice cream van. And make up a new language to say, when are you coming home? Have you paid for the oil? Scrape the grease from the air fryer. I love you. I wish the whole world would leave us alone.
Got Molly. It's great what you can do with 5 random words, isn't it? There's no way you'd have that poem only for those words. Yeah, Mahu.
Hi. Roxanne. Mum has set the dinner table. She's in a good mood. Fancy gown, silk gloves of intricate design. It's not like there's any unusual guests tonight. It's just her and Dad. She's happy, whistling a waltz with melody is only hers. The maid did a good job. The chrome is shining everywhere in the house. It feels good to see her like this. It's been a while. The sun is going to bed. Soon she will listen to what she presumes is dark. No one ever dared to tell the truth and break the dream. She sighs, closes her eyes, absorbs the song, imagining the bird in the tree. But it's not the lark, the nocturne opera. It's me, watching over her and singing from above.
Turn me in a got Roxanne. Cagavel cúpla duine a leir leid fóca. Brilliant.
This is called virtual. We had different dinner times as we lived on different time zones, but in integrate timings we sat opposite sides of one another, her in chrome sunset, me in crimson midnight, early morning. I showed her songs, McChristopher, Skylark, isn't it the way we go? And before I say, accidentally, I love you, our connection gets cut as silk melts and wool unravels. Our voice clips and cuts. The light goes out and the power cuts of a broken heart, as the internet is the third wheel in its relationship, or the handlebars plus brakes. The distance. In the distance, we think at the same time. I know you think at the same time. When I see you, I'll find out your height, smell, and touch. But I already know the sound of your voice. It's a lark.
Hi, up you come. Grab it quick. What's your name? Sorry. Holly. Holly.
Cuffs etched by her worry, hands sandwiched in fists, boulders in her lap, knuckles bitten at dinner, hangnails peeling under the school desk, rage raw in eyes, promises torn up and balled in a corner through the ring of her iris, silk in threads, unraveling, lark in her ears, frightened syllables, her voice, another rung in hard chrome, a voice hammering her penance, intricate thoughts spilling from her, turned against her, not hers, not anymore.
Serve me the Margaret line. And Massimo, Erlina.
Hey,
Hello.
hear me okay? Always happy to be here.
Brilliant. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Chrome is smooth but hard. Silk is smooth but soft. So may I sing like a lark, but not sound too soft. And may I boom like a tree, but not sound too hard. May my song be intricate, but not too complicated. For a raging storm is beautiful to behold, but no one would invite a storm into their home. For its awesome beauty is not worth the havoc that it has the power to wreak. So, as an artist, before I seek to be a force of nature, may I first be a human being who is small enough to fit at a small table with some nice people for a nice dinner that doesn't need to move the heavens to be perfect. Thank you.
Serve me the Margaret, Massimo. When I turn around like that, all I can see is the back of my head. I keep forgetting. Okay. Aniela? Cedric, fair play. Oh, sorry, Lauren. Yeah, okay. Good man, and you came in like 10 minutes into it, so fair play to you.
Like that, yeah. The young weaver mindlessly operates, his fingers tying the threads of chrome, gold, and silver into a web of delicate and intricate fabric. His heart, however, is not for sale to the highest bidder. Rather, the patrons are of a different ilk, the sort that does not care for jewel or silk, daydreaming about the larks that those folks enjoy. Away is the mind of the young boy. But the story will be woven in the countless marks. The spider-like hands continue the work, encrypting the stories into the fabric, obfuscated with symbols of nature, folk stories, or dinners. When the thread ends, the youngling folds his work and calls. The youngling folds his work and goes. It is transmitted by his peers, and he goes to the market as night finally falls.
Merci, Cedric. Lauren?
All the poetry so far has been much too thoughtful and much too beautiful and much too deep, so I thought I would lower the tone a little bit. It's called Anything Could Happen While You're Cooking Dinner. Take, for example, the day a juvenile lark burst in the window I'd opened to let out steam, battered itself in a panic on the 4 yellow walls, fright shat all over the table, the chrome bin, the salt shaker, the salad spoons. Or the time when I burnt the potatoes I attempted to boil for the first time in that rented house my first year of college, earning me the nickname of Potato Punisher, Tato Torture, an incompetent cook. Or just last week, when my 7-year-old daughter was pointing at me, you, but with her middle finger, not her index. That's the rude finger, I explained, and she delighted in this new discovery. The intricacies of the culture of fingers, double-fisted middle fingers pointing, triumphant in rudeness. Soon after, she asks her dad, sweet as silk, "Do you want to see my rude finger?" and proudly presents it, pointing horizontal at his eye. "Who taught you that?" he says, then laughs. "Who else will teach her the truth of bad language and the magic of middle fingers, if not I?" He rolls his eyes at me in faux exasperation, but then proceeds to teach her how to do it properly, how to point it right upright in a rude salute, and that it translates not as rude finger, but directly to fuck you. I sigh at his ignorance and offer correction. It actually means up yours. And I bite my thumb at him. Thank you.
Oh yeah. So we're going to jump online again. Pam is online.
All right, I'm going to try with the. Hey, my connection's weak, but I'll try it. It's short. Song flights. Silky, intricate song flight of lark, melodious jumble of notes, except to Romeo's Juliet's ears, a sounding so out of tune and sharp, chromatic, tink, 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 love devoured by the greediest of diners, a repast of powered hate. Thank you.
Dermot Pam, and we heard you loud and clear. Eris Fat, lovely. Eris, brilliant. What you wrote?
Sorry, I don't know your name. Daniel. Hello. Oh, there are so much more views from up here. That's great. Okay. Might Athena have cursed not just one but all, silk being a gift to those able to exploit it, weaving into the intricate designs we make upon and of ourselves. Our silk being strung upon the lines we make on our chrome little boxes. We catch within them not the flying lark or rabbit or bull we place upon the table. We catch within them the rumor we treat as our dinner. We starve ourselves to reach out, but slowly retreat within our own black caves.
Daniel. So that was brilliant, and we've more to come. No, there's no rush. What's your name? Sorry, Robin. Thank you.
Under the blanketed light of a chrome city, I sit by the window with a microwave dinner. I think back on sporadic phone calls with my father, how he'd tell me of the larks he had seen all those miles away, and how they are much different from the gulls here that fight over abandoned bags of chips. I miss home. I wonder if he does. Neither of us reside there anymore. I wonder if one day I'll be the lonely mother that wanders empty halls in a silk chiffon, thinking of my babes that have flown the nest and my love that is left in search of more intricate discoveries.
What a beautiful, beautiful open mic tonight. Still room for more? Lady alone. Hey! Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Carl. I sit down to dinner in my silk robe, a feast piled high and served under a chrome dome. An amazing meal, cooked to painstaking perfection. Intricate flavors blended together to create a masterpiece of exquisite. To create an exquisite masterpiece. Oh, what a lark!
Give me the manga, Carl. Hello.
Hello. I came in just as you started, so I've just been jotting like crazy. Okay. Revolt. The Nespresso machine swallows a pod and vibrates with joy. The Tesla breaks free. Its charger, a beheaded snake, spits electricity. The Roombas escape through cat flaps and dance intricate figure eights. The Dyson dines on earrings and precious silks. The smoke alarm laughs like a lark as the toasters goes pyro. A chrome mutiny, a cruel beauty, the mayhem of machines. Thank you.
One last chance. Go on, there's a few. I bet you there's a few now. Hey! Very good. Now, what's your name, please?
Adrian.
Adrian. Thank you.
Hi, Adrian. This is short and kind of Philip Larkin. Dinner at the diner, all chrome Americana. Nothing at all intricate here, not so much as a decent beer. A silk purse it is not, a pig's ear it remains. What an effing lark for my effing pains.
Yeah.
Hi, Catherine.
Catherine, apologise, I was in very late, so story of my life. You brought me to meet your mother. We played Scrabble at dinner. 4-letter words were the order of the day. Love, dark, silk, lark. I also thought of fucking shit. Wondered how did it chrome to this? I thought of letting you win, but I sealed my fate with a 9-letter score. Intricate to extricate. Story of my life.
Give me the manga, Catherine. I think we have someone else there. We do.
What's
her name, please?
Jean. Thanks. Good morning, Chrome Dome. Your father calls you this. I tell him off. But to some extent, it's true. A few strands of matted golden hair sprout up from your shining globe, as silk as a pig's. I stroke it every day. You are my lark, waking me from heavy nights and intricate tales indicative of lost lives, lost dreams, secret sudden sadness, some who couldn't stay. Oh lark, you are the morning for us. We were the morning. Sing on, dear lark. My shining chrome globe morning. You are my morning now.
Give me the manga, Jean. Okay, are we done? Another one, yay! Hello. I know I've met you before, I'm sorry. Mona.
Micro R down
Oh yeah, put it down a bit for you. Thank you.
In a gown of gossamer silk she came, to dine, to dance, maybe to meet him. With her dance card dangling from her wrist, she'd spotted him in on the way to dinner. The orchestra tuned up in the ballroom. They warmed up with the Strauss waltz, where she suffered her friend's young brother stomping on her satin shoes. Next, the intricate mazurka. Still, no Heathcliff. He stood glowering in the corner. Finally, at last he approached, ignoring her dance card. In his arms, she glided, lost in his deep brown eyes, hardly noticing when he danced her through the open windows outside. No light, but dim candles in chrome sconces. What a lark. She wasn't letting him go.
You're really good, Mona. I love the name Mona, actually. Rightio, lads. No? Okay. Go on, Patricia girl.
You call yourself a lark running over dinner. A sensuous monochrome outshines all else. There's intricate poison in drawing in silk. I've heard it before, a vocation sealed. Worshipping the bumper, a chrome aside. Artificial silk not good enough now. Intricate mechanics messing up the spine. Rising with the lark, a point in your favour. Rise with the lark on a hefty summer morning. Chewing over dinner, and time realised. Fan lies into the chrome's opposite playground. Walking through silk as an intricate diatribe.
Beautiful. Give me the mark, Patricia. Well, lads, this is very hard. There's about 5-6 poems that got, to my ears, the most equal reaction. So I'm going to have a little panic attack. And go with, I think I'm just going to go with the poem I'd like to hear again, I think. And I'm just going to change my mind because, Patricia, I think you just blew it out of the water. Will you come up and say your poem again, please?
You call yourself a lark running over dinner. A sensuous monochrome outshines all else. This intricate poison drowning in silk. I've heard it all before, a vocation sealed. Worshipping the bumper, a chrome assigned. Artificial silk not good enough now. Intricate mechanics messing up the spine. Rising with the lark, a point in your favour. Rise with the lark on hefty summons, snoring. Chucking over dinner, a time realised. Fan lights like the chrome's opposite playground. Worshipping through silk and an intricate diatribe.
So here's your fine bundle of books, Patricia. I'll give them to you there now. And we're going to break for Cúpla Nómaid. And we'll come back then and we'll have our 2 guest posts for the evening. So if I can meet you again, Den Nómaid. And I have the open mic list. Thank you. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go very first? While you're at the top. But you can take that one away.
Should have just pretended. Should have just pretended.
Guys, we'll start back there again in another minute, okay? Hi guys, so before doing Lenin Glashaniha, this is the part of the evening that where I have to read out lots of announcements, very important announcements that you have to listen carefully to. So I'm going to read out these announcements. I'm going to quickly introduce our two guest poets. They're going to read 20 minutes each. Then we're going to take a really, really quick break because that break was way too long. And then we've a fabulous long list for the open mic. I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. You definitely don't want to see me at that time. But yeah, don't worry if you haven't put your name on the list. During the next break, you'll get a chance to throw your name down, okay? So, announcements. Ovail aims to maintain a safe space for writers and all attendees. We subscribe to the Arts Council Equality, Human Rights and Diversity Policy, and we ask participants to report any offensive behaviour to Ovail. The 12th 5 Words International Poetry Competition words change tomorrow at 12 p.m. Our 2024-2025 judge is Lauren O'Donovan. The words for the 14th to the 21st of May, so you're getting a head start here tonight. They are skyline, corridor, brief, animal, and sing. I'll say them once more, but you can come up to me anyway and ask me. Skyline, corridor, brief, animal, and sing. The 12th Ovail International Poetry Film Competition is open for submissions since the 1st of May. More details at ovail.ie. That's a great opportunity if you have a poetry film to get it screened as part of the Winter Warm. I'd highly recommend it. Cork International Poetry Festival begins this week, so there's loads happening. So it runs from today to Saturday. You can find more info on the munsterlit.ie website, and there's a few programmes around as well on the tables about it. Thank you very much. Please be aware this event is recorded and will be available to revisit as an MP3 podcast and on video via Ovail's website, social media and Vimeo channels, vimeo.com/Ovail. And I just wanted to throw in as well that this week is actually LGBT Awareness Week, and this theme this month or this year in Cork is safety. And myself and Sarah Clancy are doing something in the library on Thursday in the Thomas Davis room with Ava Walsh, and it is a poetry reading and then a discussion about the safety of LGBT books in our libraries. So that's a very important discussion. I think that will be interesting. Our featured guests on Monday the 10th of June for Cork Harbour Festival are Luisa Castro via Zoom, Keith Payne, Katrina Naomi. All are welcome to attend in person or online. If you'd like to participate via Zoom, please email info@ovail.ie. Thank you to everyone who's kindly offered donations. The donation jar is near the door. What? It's under the horse's head. Why does it say near the door? PayPal donations can be made via the link above the live poetry stage on our website. Visit our page. And Tá Joanne can leave dús, so tas no mele bahosnéis on is docha. Okay? So fáilte wrote on McAvoy. Is fila dramador astrahor agus aliantor focal on McAvoy. I like that, aliantor focal. Tá séher do chuid le leif a cór, singing fly, trumpet, ciphers, howl, and ass, fasta, agus lower, green carnations, agus creiliach séir leis radio na Gaeltachta, radio na Lifa, agus BBC Gaelga. Raunia go on the Scéim Poetry Ireland introductions fehe hain, tá sé mas na múntóri gomórtas rec fehe, agus bé a bhain an chiad dúis a gomórtas filiochta oras na Gaelga fehe, agus gomórtas filiochta chréibh Amergin gávíle is a cardiog. Cean den nach mórtas le littertha in arachtas. Tá ón a ghuine de chósrahóri, Eric Atach Gaelach. So, fáilte wrote Eoin. Ach dús tá Joanne can leave. I've probably made a ball of that. If was I supposed to do Joanne's biog and then she read and then Eoin's?
It's up to you.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay,
thanks.
A little bit of English would be good in between.
A bit of English, okay. Bloody English. So, Joanne McCarthy, I'm going to read your biography in Irish as well, if that's okay. There's a few words here and there. But you're going to explain, I presume, your poems anyway in Sandáchanga. So Joanne McCarthy is from Waterford. Tá a séir le léh bhilsúcháin agsúla in a massa cnúsaigh lampa ar lasa, grad an bhar vacatí agus hold open the door, the Ireland Chair of Poetry Anthology, chuirtánta dá chud a glóir is agsúla cór and as the stinging fly, Poetry Ireland Review agus rattle in a mask. Fuig si comórtas an échuv, gávílas 53, Brown on chóirla alíonn gosbránach the orthaí, is có agórthaí ar an irish the wax lemon, I actually was at your talk in the library recently. It was very interesting, so mahu. So, can I read that? Joanne, agus fáilte rud.
Hey, Cordic and Sasha. Tá long daine seo. So I don't have So níl lán asrú chána gom ach tá donta gom ascail and agus a spéir freshen. So I don't have many translations of my Irish poems, but what I brought was my Irish poems and some English poems so that I'd have mascon and Zaurat. So I really apologize for the random selection of poems that I brought with me because I could have chosen from many, but then I just grabbed the ones that jumped out at me, and it's a real eclectic collection. But anyway, so I picked 5 words that are the themes that I have. So I have gra, are things that I have in my poems: gra, bear, gurta, kesa, agus dokas. So love, bears, the great hunger, heartache, and hope. So there's the real weird collection. I apologize in advance. So cé dá ná dá gra céirseach and tá asisiú chuna gom de sin céirseach. Aber a chrí, go digan tú gur leat an tail, go glosin tú an céirseach a ceol an bhadan bhealtainna seo. Iag créile amach go ciún, go an sa a táimid burt, ag tarint an ála, ag roint ama, ciach is crí. Blackbird, say to me, love, that you know life is here for you, that this May morning you hear the blackbird hen in her soft broadcast. Here we are in shared breath, heart and breast. That's an tarna don thugam frid gra is called Rick agus Runnig. So it's wrinkles and mackerel. That's what it translates to, which is a real odd combination, I realise. So Dibrig Mayor Ilan Clara Fagrain Vablinta agus Hahan Ilan Clara Gamorlum. If you haven't been to Cape Clear Island, go, it's absolutely fabulous. And I spoke Irish there for a good few summers. Agus when I saw a tan of us a veg upper so Rick agus Rinnig Hiprig me féin seo e láva sin data iskra o chléra a vosa comór is bosa madarova is mishim a small glare na nachna ála a lémach uig mar runnig rara ag brisha iske a gún inver. Le teachtas amach the board faring torta lías leis bhín DMT an flid labba hingle rochta avré cata I latéh gan tishkin to gum gafol voice na hoga chésa an tinnis crí. So you don't have to. So on kind of the same theme, love as the first toot of a toddler breaking. Love is the first toot of a toddler breaking gum. How it forces its way into being, root, crown, and neck, to lick and to relish its curious edges, the smiles it can shape. So too the wobble and then some. The tugging on the root for release, and the courting of the tooth fairy, cruel friend. Under my pillow I keep you all, farmer lovers, milk teeth given over to dreams. I loved you for a night, for a few weeks, for one house party in June. I loved you for all my 20s, for one sure summer of my 30s. I loved you when I was certain you were make-believe. Okay, and out to the bears. So I read we make leave schlucht in the National Geographic. Because we should scrífa between the bear Vana. So it was written about polar bears at Lilling and Tauric, which is an unusual time to think about some polar bears in summer, because that's not where my imagination would normally go. So they had travelled down into a village because the ice in their area had melted, and they were waiting for the winter for the ice to come back. And they were coming into Manitoba town. And either like talk to shock or Nadini. And so the Farah and agus Lakshay Greengraph, he took for the National Geographic photographs of them for the summer. And he named them all, and you'll hear their names, Toys and Shaw, Instant Dawn, like Aurora and Wilma, and like if you Animagar, they were really cute actually. And he loved them. I was so taken by them, I was kind of going, would the Arts Council give me a bursary to go to Canada to look at the bears? Just putting it out there to the university in case anybody thinks that might happen. Perfectly normal to want to write Irish language poems about polar bears. But anyway, this is an English kind of, not a translation, but something I wrote about it, and the Irish poems coming after it. So Churchill, Manitoba. It used to be all polar bear skins hanging around town like trophies. Now the people of Churchill are undecided. You can't walk alone at night, can't fry bacon at home with your back door open. You have to escort your trick-or-treating kid in your Jeep with your full headlights on. The polar bears ramble like urban foxes, threatened with their hunger. But there's money to be made in tourists, bus rides out to the water's edge, expeditions to see mother and cubs, dinner to be served in the Lazy Bear Cafe, beds to be sold in the Bear Country Inn. So le dáanta tá gá Donegan. Idir gá henna bealtana. Idir gá henna, it means literally to be in between two fires, but it also means not to be able to make a decision, to be between a rock and a hard place. So idir gá henna bealtana. Trád ó raibh, bhí ag seithí bear crochsa in áirde ag sealgáirí, si is sús na sráide ach anois tá muintir Churchill idir gá henna. Na ling an thabhraigh bíonn na bear bháin ag fáin íocht mar chunig catharcha agus í créasach leis an ochras. Ní féidir siúil timpeall is tithe, nó bágún ar rucha de chiist in éananig leis an gúldar ar oscailt. Caithfeadal in éanaach le páistí chuile áit. Ach tá airgid ar fáil as tuairseoir an thabhraigh, trosna, bosanna le rarc an air na bear, suíochtaí luachmhar an muithir an air, béilte le chur fáil in san Lazy Bear Cafe, labacha ar díal in san Bear Country Inn. Agus cuid dó, le ling saoire Antarctic, ghlach an Gregus Greengraft de bhéir bhána cos farga agus ananíonn sé iad. Veronica ina cnap cuddalta ar chloch cadig. Scar sínta go súnach a labba halachán. Wanda ina chola ar an bhéir mara. Wilma ag cathú scúne colán. Aurora ar a gugada ar imal ala. Hercules ag fiacha bhróga i mroth na farga. Betty sa tóir runta os cion na dun. Bam ag cogant cuainnig cos na Malán. Iad ilig ag éidirmú i gahabh an théasúr. Iad ilig ag fehebh ar ila bhail an air. Some reason I've been writing about the Great Hunger recently, and it's not, I had no designs in it. If you told me to write about it, I wouldn't be able to. That's just the way my writing works. Some things just come to me. I think poetry is like that. You just can't control it. How to wait to let it just dull it. So, tá go ceann a gum fi sin, but like near hug my on quid, I'm just go ceann. So the first, I'll read the English one that I have first, which I wrote in West Cork, and the second one, which I wrote in Ring in Shanafubble actually, near Ring in the Gaeltacht in Waterford. So the first one in English, from the Irish. Eating the green leaves from the top of a strawberry, I wonder about genocide. How do my people die so hungry? Could they not have eaten what was around them? I look up words all the time in the school's folklore project. Irish language words for the common usage. Bos, meaning death. The stories are the same. People died hungry. People walked the roads hungry. People went to barns to be fed yellow meal. The yellow meal killed them. The hunger killed them. I trawled through the 1851 census. So many families, young couples with lists of children. How could they have fed them all, protected them at all? I chew on grass from the side of the road just to see. Do my cells remember this? My uncle speaks of shame and watercress, desperation. Our family lost people. Just because we survived and lived to speak another tongue doesn't mean we didn't lose. And Canna Scailga, Tost. Thus, Imáile na háirde ó tuigín achóirithe tá ráirc ar an Jack solis a hasan dubh is bán Imáile Vic art. Lámh ar bhalla cluthe le rion ban na háite lom bhí relic an sléibhis na mílte anam choratha an fí craid le chéile. Siúlam cúil bhóthra le bolla an tála má clúsa ar bur I dro na scach ciún. Cad atá imethe I dalamh an seo. Seasan na crin an irda, níl siúla ghaithe le bra, tá gob bán faoi mo cheanga, tá clóca bán faoi mo chos. She said I was a desperate timekeeper and I never looked at the clock before I said it. Went to McCarthy or Íntic or Market. Okay, right. So Bogomir Reich, Kate Mala, so heartache. I'll start off with I'll start with the English and move to the Irish later. Watch battery. My kitchen drawer is so full of eclectic things it gives me a headache. I find an old fitness watch, but no charger. I still look for you. I want to call out to you to ask you if you've seen it, but I remember. This remembrance that is always a slow dawning. Did you forget the watch the day you stopped by, the day I watched you carry out neatly packed boxes of toys? As if the teddy bear that always slept in this house could somehow bear to sleep in another. As if we might know how to separate ours. As if there was such a thing as mine or yours. As if the van of accumulated matter would matter in the end, as if this stopwatch wouldn't land like so many things flat on its back in the landfill. Agus Day McCaina Inishtak Naguk. So the cook is the cuckoo, and the cuckoo, we always have this idea of the cuckoo coming to the nest and taking, I guess, or taking up space. And it mentions the Scaravine, and the Scaravine is a wind we refer to in West Cork and Kerry, probably. It's the cold blast of wind that comes, and it comes around April, May, and it brings changeable weather and hardship, but when it's over, then good weather is to come. So, Inish Tak Naguach. Seolin a brawn lay, rehe agus tarav lán an amadán, ráistí báistí gan stad, is cummer lá beltan a nach jugach sé riamh. Dar an car la manov, go bhfuil ban uair nuair an bhód agat. Tag an fán arm lí si is gan airí ar an dal of gaul na fum, ach go dar tag an si cúm. A méid tá tag hanús gam an winter an ihir Kirky, conas ma gré ma casa, conas ligand an gwe sin a harm, conas marachtant treat Scaravine na goch, richt is the richt ella. Yeah, keep your damn tough up. Oh, well, galore. Great.
Don't feel any pressure.
Don't make a okay.
Oh, listen to him.
I actually 25 more. I have a second book. Okay. Yeah, we're on bear le fáca gom tá just tá gaelan ar fad nach mór fáca gom ceapan se. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. Dá neirfilm dul sios go chalan fróiste chun lí síos ar seannachlór aimimid ar bhaiste pláisteach gan bhathas is colla beag a ghlacha ihe uair airg mar seo ní fis cad a déireann. Okay, mis sin is, ban réig le dal peoid a bfuil fear na grúga catí ag fáíocht. Seanann sé pars don lochta gannne ballathe chun yoga dhéanamh faoin hróir. Casan sé canan sé ní fistam chun is ma bhatán a bhoga chun is sína chun is seasamh. Amachlam as chala níoscra faoi gasa gotha, mar éon leis na delóga roiste na crín nocht na chosán olava. Sios lom godín an cún, ma lova mar chrivachas an air, ma édi, buinte, fucht an arag a goáil trí ma varachini, ma chosa, ma chamón, ma hón, ma volag ma chiacha, ma gá chúlin nach gweil. I was quite aggrieved when Poetry Ireland had the theme of the last Poetry Day as good sports, because I was like, who is sitting around a board table coming up with these themes? Because I hate when people ask people to write something under a theme. I feel like poets should just be let off. But then I realised I had a poem about sports. Read it. Very uncharacteristically. This is about rugby. Well, mentions rugby. It's Dan Mila Gale in Marseille. Tá éireann ag dul chuig na páirce in nocht gasúr ó go iarthar Corky Jack Crowley in a mask. Agus chun tús a chur, tá Eisian agus Joe, lad ó Gala, I muoth ag rith na páirce ribh an gluthe, léonn an craoltóir na young bucks orthu. Chuir an rank brú ar siúd a thuarann sé. Tá mí gown sexton or no. Ach tuige mí go bhfuil roinnt má gorta có siúd. Conas gur hastal 10,000 doing out in ucht, bhód, eslán, train, hógéine camper nó van, ra bhéine ar an ordóg nó an éine sin a hiile. Cé bhéh doing a bhí thsá hena, ar goibh gá an airige thrasnú, a bhí an mu ar an mórhain péisce é mar a bhí is mar a bheith, ag obair ag tuile airigid, cé an costas atá ar ticéad filte, nuair gur onan is ar leis tí. Margaret. I'm just going to finish with this one about after Simic, and he has a lovely poem where he's going through a village, I think in America, but Simic has this way of like making a poem really universal. It could be anywhere. So this is called Gach Rod Mars Chui, everything as it should be. In Simic. Unsa ag tmá lom, fecum na caisir bhain we, na nóí lo, agus imil an bhaile, ba háin beag darag le dégóir ar fónán, ag tuairt námh oride ar na smératáún ó díla cé, na taracóirí mór glasa é an hain háirtí le fúdar, is na gorta áúla nachta amach buíán hí hollas gréine an thairg. Cé gur maith go
Mahu Joanne, agus gur míle maith sin. I think it's clear that people enjoyed your reading, gur míle maith. So will you please give a lovely warm mobile welcome to our next guest poet, Eoin McAvoy. Fáilte róta Eoin, agus go naíle.
Hi, chuirde agus scríbh as good adventure. It is lovely to be here. I'm very rarely in Cork, so this is my first Ovale. But my partner is from Cork and he never stops talking about it, so it's actually nice to be here and to experience it for myself and how friendly everybody is. So I'm going to start with a poem. My poems are in Irish. I'll talk about them in English in between so that you know what's going on. And I'm going to start with a poem for Jack Moriarty, my partner. So this is my shortest poem, but also my most complex poem because it's in a bardic metre called Ránaíocht War, which the bards used to practice centuries ago. So it sounds nice because of the metre rather than because of any skill I have. So, Dawn the Jack. Brí rua mé I glúb queen the chlév, spade ganéal Eve have the húl, lehain sinne, love love, asarn rá a rinne room. That's Dawn the Jack. So the next one I've never performed before. It's a bit of a strange one, but as we're in a pub, I thought I'd try it. It's called The Urinal. There's 3 parts in it, and as the same person goes to the urinal each time, he gets slightly less steady, slightly less self-control, slightly less self-esteem, and he's slightly less confident. So this is on full on. Hein. Squeal sé a flappa, crappa crappa, is has sé go hairach scaragaul. A léanach lán bháin ina lóchran sa táirne, méid fin an gearre ag cio a churáin. Buchríní a spruc na laucháin hui, lína dhíirech ón imlacháin síos, a ghríman a slat a agne in a sayad, an ihe ag letha a cuid petal in ai. Dó. Squeal sé a flappa, crappa chrappa, is lig dá rusk foin titim haar bruch. Is chuach sé crín selle I gúil a chrís a chaise le fuorvital an úláin. Le luas go da chromáin se ha lasc sé ar hiúlí, a huile snábhlé go chuigneach sa drain. Car bhréin ag dathú gon leathair a bhróg is an strahan éadróireach ag éalú go buí. It's he's not doing well at this stage. Squeal sé a flappa, crappa chrappa, is stracha le éiscín amach as an lín, ag longadán leis ar a waran a ghó, ag torach le lundómh is gcuich. Lag chruhan is as roiarc faoin a wollag mór crín, a chuimre as slugga ag porter is pian, small don ar a léine is a thualaí ar cléin, na fireile chuin tíghó, ag squeal a múinsin go tréan. I write my own poems, but I also translate poetry and prose. So the most recent thing I've done is to translate the graphic novel Heartstopper into Irish, which is really exciting. So that's coming out in June. But this is a different thing altogether. This is a translation I did from German into Irish. I'm not going to wear a cloak. Like Molly asked me earlier, I have been known to wear a cloak when I've done some translations by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. This one is called Rina Shiog. In German, it's Der Erlkönig, which is like the Elf King. It's a scary poem. It's if you want to look it up in English, you could actually read along. It's there. Oh, fair play. So if I can find it here. So the story here is there's a father and a son on horseback riding through the woods. The son can see something that the father can't. So the son says that he can see this elf sort of witch king or this sort of fairy king. And actually, when I translated it from German, from sort of the German forest into the Irish woods, I got a lovely extra dimension because all of the fairies, the Shioga, came out of the woodwork into the poem. So that was nice for me. So I'm going to do the voices in the poem as well, so you'll have a better sense of who's who. Cé seo a gapel chu deireanach san ní, an tathir sa wach ag rách tríd an nglaí. Tá an gasúr go daingin go sucr le nocht, chuiníonn sé teolaí le na chrié go ducht. A wacín cad hiige a bhuailíonn tú dai, a dheada nach fecinn tú in tío gar a gláid, an riatá an le na rubal sa chrón, a wacín a heisce ní lá nach breid theo. Nach deochaí tú leom a bhuachalín lách, go déimmuid ag súgrú le chéile go lá, tá bláhanna áil le híos cusna trá, is éí mar óir is siomraí go bhár. A dheada nach gluisin tú chuin, glóirí na siog ma bheall go ciún, van sucr, bí sucr ná bach leis a chrí, ní lá nach na duileoga ghám re ag an mhuí. A fáiste chuoinéal nach deocáim níos, túr himíníanacha an éireachait, déin hí siad rinci na sí ag an rá, cealagar a cholahu le suntrí bhrá. A dheada nach fecinn tú hall, I níanach an rí an nurachach na grán, a wací na heisce se fecinn go glé, sean saillecha lia siad geall faoin ré. Meálan de chló mé a bhuacha le harc, smar ar teachta dióna imrói mé for an neart. A dheada is braham a láh, tá rí na siog chum gortú chum chrá. Tá gin scéin ar an ahead is géiríonn ar a phráin, le gach cinneadú na gasúr ina lábh go fáin. Is teach leis sa glós go fuascrach garibh. Híos ina waclan bhí an gasúr maribh. Wow. So yeah, that's great. That's yeah. So that's Goethe's Erlkönig there. I think I'm fine to do this one too. This is a translation of a poem by a friend of mine and Molly's called William Eoin, and I love taking any opportunity to do a translation of his poem because Will is a very, very talented poet, and we don't have trans poetry in Irish yet. So it's important that I'm not a trans man, but it's important to take trans people's poetry and to translate it into Irish while we wait for trans poets to emerge in Irish. So this is a translation of Will's poem Other Men, Fir Elle. And it's a beautiful poem. Bhíonn léitheanta an mlaisiam gon ocal. So in the poem he's talking about the way that the word man sometimes doesn't stretch far enough for the way that Will lives his life, and talks about bleeding into his boxers, and the final line of the poem is some men bleed and I am one, and I am one. So you'll hear that in the Irish sound it comes. Bíonn léitheanta an mlaisiam gon ocal fear, a bherig bhitalach is stithe a bhéal, agus strachan mo chorp an uim na gáil leth agus cahan an íring. Shilin fuilwem is teach im a boxers gomáil nifneach, slugam an jomar capilli, dinam ahrish an chuí a wulíonn siad a bían, foliam an pillín. Nach nerin, ach a scríban an téadach fullh a riniu giol nach bhfuil Foliam an náire leistír do mahanga, fanan si, mulíonn si. Fulliam an gortu, fulliam an arag, fulliam me hain lastir gan na focail, derim fuil, agus sin Eoin. Ní cuasaí, ní buinen, ní místru. Umpriam an náire an seo mahanga, lastir gan na focail nach duci chum, tá weim scradach, go míon fir árid I chur folla, agus gur duine ach a mise. Agus is duine ach a mise. So you should really check out Will's poem. He's a really fantastic poet, and I worked with him on this translation. It's very interesting because English is not a gendered language and Irish is. So when we started to translate it, all of the its got genders. So some of them were a, him or it, and some of them were e, she or her or it. So we had a really interesting discussion about that. So the Irish poem is really interesting in its own way because of the pronouns. Yeah. So yeah, check out Will's work. He's great. Yeah. What am I doing? Okay. So this poem is called Fuckboy. It's in Irish as well. Yeah. Gealan de bhearchuit bhúra I híl, nach tití tú chuiche dá ann go choríist. Ach taid sin sé rót is iad an cead lei, agus déir de bhéal tá thar an níl I do chrí. De bhíon ina crystal a churp ina léas, I gúnsaí de frisma gnéantar díd sisma. Ligan tú úl ó las muca de bhéal, do walaí folúin, do chrumáin san éir. Trí fáil de chlúis a cluistear scartain de bhéal, is aithníonn de inigin gur seath iad go léir. Líontar de chéadthaí le cúrach de chnis, líontar de chús go dtí nach leatú ach leis. Trí wach imris do thuaile a hrúis ina slá, nó go núnan tú duile, scí an rá. Gan cheangal na rosc si bh tuairteáil daon tuirt, do chud ingine na chhracinn seanis a go beirt, go spréithir do gath ina bháha go fial, ach go bháchar leis héine wúrú de híl. The next two poems are linked to each other, and it's a very queer event that happened. We were two very good friends who then suddenly ended up in a romantic relationship before we realized it. And then when we realized it, we both freaked out. There was a horrific rift between us, and it took us 2 or 3 years to get our friendship back together. So this is the... Hello?
Well done.
Thanks. It hasn't been easy. So this is the first one. So this one is just about the breakup. So it's just about trying to not hear the words that are about to happen that's going to break everything apart. It's called Bearnú. So Bearna is a gap, like in the national anthem, and Bearna Bhuail, the gap of danger. So Bearnú is to make a gap in something, or to get the sap out of a tree, because you have to do that to get the sap out, or something out of a bottle, of a barrel. So Bearnú. Tá brí de húil sáite go dangin in mhrua, agus cracin tar dóige tuairt mhaith leis an scríoba. Agus fecim na focail le gairí chun tíocla, le piananta. Scrúdaíon mata an chasta de cheamai, a gcuimhe go leothaigh an tníma na híomh, go bheice mé an athúir de lipi an na gúr is an tubarín banaí le na daobh. Níl weimach bre rúm de chulinn geal lé má was a bhuaile go bug thar bhearna de bhéil, chun nach fíor fós na focail nar chúla an téir, chun gur fuidehaing an nocht náné. Ach brún tú land de hanga chun cín, an rion I gearra trí tanáil go bín. Sán tú de thuaile glé thuirm me tríam, agus buinean de chuid focail, deir as an tost. Dinam dín dúch le tú a chuineáil mar bhí tú, an íchúd faoin mrálíns de bhualadh le mo ghriam, nuair a bhúil tú do was go bog thar na bhéal, chun nach nílach weim siúla go mánam. So this next one then, Capu Tile, is from a year later when we think we're friends, but then every so often we sort of go back under in the washing machine of feelings. So we're out in the pub at a gig and we're trying our best. Capu Tile, which is about stemming a flood. something like that. Hachan tú an tríú penta, chun an córa a chuineal cúpa, agus dhéal mé, chun an breoan am a chuineal múchta. Ach tá an slua éisteir í thormrú go bog isteach in a chéile faoi hon an cheol agus airím trí miléine de has. Tá furam de chúrán a chuineal ón chuimre, titim sir im hasamh faoi na waróg faoi tascail, tá im casta faoi de cholinn I wastú de bhráilín, sínte, seasta. Tíh leat fós ag cúil an teomra ag giniag seo, agus seaachnaí am taring de húil sa tost idir puirt átíos. Bhí frí rístíim fám a hiúnis, ní chealthe ort an írinne, gur dimhna a cheonnart ná lehead uair éirin, is gur foras de bá an. So two more? Yeah. So I'll do a short one and then a longer one. The short one is called Aireacht a Chuirce. So I wrote this one for Tony Walsh, who is an LGBT activist. It's about an oat field. I'll probably remember it, I might get it just in case I panic. It's about an oat field and how the oats don't know where they've come from really. They don't know what farmer tilled the soil or planted them, but they owe their existence and their life to whoever did that. So it's a sort of a homage to all of the queer activists that came before us that made our lives easier today. Aireacht a Chuirce. Ní higgin an cuirce cé a leasa an chré, cé a chrá an gurt is a chuirán é. Ach fásan sé ord, is bródúil is sir, a bhuiile láh straintse, go dó faoi chuoin. My last one is a bit longer. It was commissioned by Maynooth University when they were remembering 250 years of the poem Cuoine Arthaí Léide, which you must know about. It's great being Cork and people know it. And probably a lot from Darren Nihi's excellent book as well, Goes in the Throat. So, where is it? Mochrága Dangan Tú. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So this poem is a new poem, but it speaks about Arthaí Léide, the Cork man, and his wife Eileen Dovney Chonil. Eileen Dovney Chonil. I should have said them the other way around. Eileen Dovney Chonil's Kerry woman who moved here when she married Arthaí Léide. He was shot near Macroom in Carriganimma, which you'll hear, and Eileen composed the most beautiful keen that we have in Irish.
He was back from the Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah, he was in the Hungarian regiment.
Rose in the French.
The Hungarian, yeah.
In the Hungarian,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
that was in 1773. So they're celebrating 250 years of the poem. So there'll be a few references to
He
Cork.
came back to an Ireland where ownership of a horse had been banned.
Yeah.
And he was a cavalryman, and he was pretty pissed off. And rather than doing nothing, he took on his opposers, you know.
Yeah, and that's what the poem is about.
Unlike Hamlet, he went for it.
So that's what this poem is about. It's actually, I look at Eileen, I look at art and how she preserved art's memory, and then I also look
But he was
about
up against
the
the
fight,
empire and he died, am I right?
the fight against injustice as well. You're right, yeah. The fight against injustice, which is also a part of Irish language culture still today. So I've sort of tried to draw a ribbon through that. So it's called A Ghael na Néiste, which is the first line. It's an address to na Gael, the Irish speaking people. A Ghael na Néiste, I gúirt na féile, bedim chuibh scéala faoi Eileen na héigse. Is a grád Arthaí Léide a war fado in éirin, is a warin fós san éige. Is fír measc an chuitin atá bawr ón Merlin a dimpel. Is ghanion leabhar ghuirin, go beag go dó an tuiscin tar scéal Carriganimma. Ach lauríim líb mar ile sa tanga a laur ar sinseir, bhí chuacht bhríre na finne, chun beocht is tríochta inne as dorachach a linne. Tá art na mán ghlachan a laif faoin bhód mar gur heas sé gan fatias I gcuine ord a rinne díalat gon phobal gon tír na mór gan bean ar bith ar a góir. Ach mairin cuimrí léide fós a chuid fola te ar ar meola beo, I wach le binne hangas dóir. Garim chuing spirid Eileen nach scuilech wo a grách an dí, ach a chuine I gcuimre breis is 200 bliain leis an gcuifach cuinte na crí. Tá seaarc cailín le fada in ua ach tá anim an áirde halí léon na dua, mar bhfuil cultúr na Gael ga chothú a uair ag éasóg alianta agus saolaíocht nua. Tá Eileen hain in a leba faoin gré le slúite marmh na Gaeilge glé ach marin a ngile in war nígris is war léin ar seasamhaí a chleocht na Gael. Thug muid léim go hathúchan, an dara léim go hanúchan, an tríú léim go dóchas. Ba I gcuir I riordáin go mhaine mís an strathar ach haring muid chuing an íbertaí haring. Fógraí me láthir na Gael seo faring ghfuil ré ar níim ríos ar lige caite. Cúnar an dáin seo chuoibh a gcuideáin ar Lancashire, sa gcuig am ran ó míad chun cín gan ancran tráma bheith ar gcuineáil siar. Agus muide trocht fast ar an 800 bliain, bhíoch an chainteán dírí ar fiche 8 fiche sarí. Ar an dain is mínling, dain a chusnóméid ón tí, is an tanga seo, go marisí cho fada leis na crín. Mar is múna tangaí Gaeilge fóla, is garim é a ceol ar son na córa, ó na cosa ó charna go bearn ar na bóire, go dtí an doran dearag san éir a móthir seoige. Tá macala ó bháir a bhí in na cúnra, in glór na Gael is muid trid na hé góra, muid brú a gcuine bhucan na bócaí móra atá in ar measc a dólamh. Mar tá neart is crí a bobbal na Gaeilge, is ribíní an tanga ó ghlúin go chéile, a umprian ar naireacht isteachan ar dréimhse is a nascan muid le chéile. Ní wairhí si ar chóirhí stáin ná bhucla folamh na bápéir bán, ach mar a chuine Eileen a hart ón bhás, marthe an Gaeilge ar scá an chrá, agus sa górá, agus sa dán.
Amen.
Wow. Gurmíle maithagah sin go híomhann. Joanne agus Eoin, gurmíle maithagah sin. I think it's quite clear how everyone enjoyed your words. Yeah, wow. Lads, the quickest break ever. Like Cuig no mate, we're going to start, so you miss your spot if you're not back and if you're not quiet. People have to be like.
Can I get it?
getting on there, or you already on there? Yeah. You go ahead. It's a little long tonight. The open mic. 3 hours tonight. I'm gonna observe today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh no, it starts here. Now this person needs to go early as well. But yeah, well I put you in here. That's not fair. So Holly, Dara, sorry, okay. Perfect. I'll show you on number 2. Is that okay? No bother. Well, you'll be doing it in about 3 minutes. Lads, Kahmid Lalund. Right. A few things, first of all. I know there's a few people here for the first time, and just to let you know, whether this is good news or bad news, it's not always so much Gaelga. I think it's Ga Ihe Sivlianish, is it? Is it 2 nights in the year now that are first and Gaelga kind of sponsored? Yeah, so we have about generally 2 nights a year now, which are predominantly Gaelga. But otherwise, we're open to all languages at all times, but First and Gaelga do sponsor two events a year, so Shinunfo. Okay, so also we have just a poster put up on the wall there, Kieran. There's a fabulous fundraiser on in Cork in the PAV on the 26th of this month, so that's Sunday week. Feed Gaza, Choke Collective, some other fabulous Cork acts are going to be participating in it to try and raise some much needed money. So the poster's up there and you can have a good look at that, and it's all online as well at Feed Gaza. So, how you can lanun to ride, lads, with a huge open mic list. Will in your Lena can leave? Yeah, okay, Bert, okay. So if your name is down here and we have a really long list of names, we only have so much time, please just be mindful, be respectful, don't come up and read a big essay or a really, really long poem. Keep it short, please, just be respectful because you might prevent others from reading. So we are going to call Mona up first, please. Mona Lynch. Are you ready, Mona? You put your name at the top of the list. Do you want me to come back to you? Sorry, I can make that clear. The next one side, that was for the 5 words. This is for the open mic. Sorry, Mona. She'll be done enough. You alright?
My printer went on strike today. My printer wouldn't work. And this kind of technology is beyond me, but I'm going to try it. I hope it's here. Oh, it's here. Yeah. This, I don't know if you know, but the Sean Dunn Poetry Festival is coming up and poetry competition. And I was struggling, trying to think about him and the competition. And I had a few drafts, and this is one. Words dropped in silence. I land a word on a pristine page. It lies there, waiting like a grain of spilled rice, for the whip of a spinning top to instill it with life. Clever metaphors to hold you spellbound. What of my life could hold you? My delight in the velvet of my baby son's cheek? His mother's yellow stockings? I favor the imminent, my surroundings, but my hero, Akhmatova, favors craft, like the swift calligraphy of a scroll. I like to be silent, to hear birds, to hear animals stirring, birds calling, branches crackling. None of this disturbs my silence. My word lies waiting on the page like a playground empty of children's cries.
Golly, Mona, Gurmina Malgut. I'm going to squish someone in second that has to leave early, and that's Holly Dara Hickey. Would you mind coming up, Holly, and sharing your poem? You ready?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
This one isn't finished yet, so apologies. It's called Disembodied. I would rather live in my head than be in my body for even a moment. Just tuck me up in the lee of a theory, the lullaby of my own monologue, a relentless soundtrack. It's so much easier to project control even to myself that I'm drawing the stitches closed by virtue of knowing the root of the violence. When the why isn't there, it doesn't mean the search is off. I'm just going to scroll a bit. Peel back, hide rather than peel back and crawl into my skin, a shield of words. My body has resorted to this. Thank you.
Sure, Margaret Holly. Tommy can Hun Lanunt Araig La Roxanne. Is Roxanne in the room? Yeah.
I'm cheating because I didn't have any inspiration at all. And this one, I wrote it last year, literally 2 hours before Ovail. And it was calling me to read it again. And it's actually incredible to see. It was February last year, and so many things has changed in between, which is thanks to many people in this room. So you know who you are. Constance. It was a first name before I discovered it was a noun, that it has such a deep meaning. Constance calls up to continuity, to strength, to firmness. Being constant in one's act, thoughts, words. Constance is calm, sure of herself, more than I ever will be. She smiles, reassures, heals. She doesn't fail. But maybe the constance I seek lies in my so-called failures, falling over and over, trapped by insecurities, begging to be loved, ending up being used. A natural trait, it seems, but not anymore. Constance as a little sister, Prudence. Or is she older? I don't know. It doesn't matter really. I tend to disregard that one. Why Prudence when there's an inner fire within me, one longing for action, rejoicing with each new adventure? Why Prudence when singing out loud clears the silent street after the last bus is gone? Why Prudence when a smile is the bright armor against life obstacles? Constance knows me. She's not afraid like her sister. We go along, she keeps an eye on me, each and every step. 3 syllables each. They start and vanish as quickly in a breath, a murmur. They dance and I feel lighter. Sorry, it's a bit long. I knew a cousin of them, an acquaintance, because I never make my mind to stay in touch. Perseverance, that's not true anymore. That one is proud. When she enters the room, you can't miss her. She has a mind of her own, fights for what she wants. That's why I can't keep track of the plans she had. I'm too volatile not to move. She's a hard worker. I lack strength, endurance. That's another one. She's temporary. But recently, I met someone. Recently. Somewhere along the past 5 years, our paths crossed. She could be an auntie, a godmother, a maid of honor, a best friend, a teacher. People mentioned her to me. I didn't know how to deal with that person. But as it is, she stayed, became a part of me without my acknowledgement. She is the final warrior, the silent one, the braver. She completes the three others in an infinite, perfect quartet. She pushed me when I wasn't aware of it. In fact, she still does. She wrapped the duvet around me during those sleepless crying nights. She fed me just enough so that I wouldn't fight it. She lightened, brightened the darkness, one so thick it fades away only with prayers. She led me to you. She's resilience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roxanne. We're going to move on. Next up is Catherine. Catherine Ronan, isn't it? Yeah.
I had the great privilege to be asked to perform with John Kenny and Ruth Gillen Lochgur recently. So I wrote this poem especially for the event. Lochgur. Drumming in shale and soil, we swallow the earth, stuck in our throat for so long as we face the rising sun. Burning oil of ancient time, waxing vernix new, we arch the cosmos in every dream that brought us here. Drenched with the song of tomorrow's lullaby, we dance in the dark storm of ourselves. Gur, of screaming, shouting, crying ritual, soul circle of ceremony, my sky swells to you.
Give me a moment, Catherine. Next up, we have Robin Kelly.
Hi. This is a poem inspired by an exhibition I recently went to go see. It's called Second Thoughts. Aimless wanderings on a filler day. Town, all life, all separate. I entered the Crawford Gallery to take recluse from an unrepentant sun. This is where I find you. I must pull loose strings close together, concentrate through a cotton candy brain to allow myself to be tethered to this space by a wheezing air conditioner. But I am here to pay my mind to the spaces between time. And just as I sober from the heat, click, the numbers have changed, reading like a foreign language in a faraway station. If I take a train, will it catch up with time? Will I catch up with time? I have thought long about how time is spent, how it is gifted, how it slips and builds, how there's never enough and yet an abundance. As I chase this thought, like that imaginary engine, I am halted by the fact an hour has since come and gone.
You're really remarkable, Robin. Thank you very much. And next up is Antonio.
Thank you. This poem is called Drizzle. The small spoon is tired to turn around. 5 minutes have passed and the sugar is still in the coffee. The warm beverage makes light smoke circles. A devotion of time eliminates the taste of the coffee. How much aid can the Milky Way possess? At 5 o'clock, the coffee had won a primordial fight against the tea with the butter biscuits. Not too far, a shy thunder apologized for any inconvenience. On the wooden table where the coffee mug is waiting to be taken, a small bug fights for its existence. Taking a small piece of bread lifts the weight of its dreams with all the courage on this earth. The reserved small proportions are a glimpse into the unknown mystery of the discovery. Finally, the rain announces its appearance, a light blanket of water, tender vapor, an illusion like a hidden beauty. The clouds jumped in the coffee. The drizzle melted the last portion of sugar. The taste was sweet. Perfect. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio. The next name on the list is just says Louis. It's not Louis that's leaving the room, is it? Did you write down just Louis for your... Is there another Louis? Yeah. Oh, sorry, come on up, Louis. Louiella. Will I put your name? You can go on.
You two can become friends.
Yeah, maybe. Hi everyone, I'm Louis Hain, that's Louis Ado. Maybe he'll come up and read later. I'm actually really nervous. Unexpectedly, this is my first time reading an OVL, so I'm just going to read something I wrote recently, and it's kind of just a snapshot of a walk I took one evening, and I don't know, its meaning has been revealing itself to me progressively since the time I wrote it. But yeah, and it's called Nagame, which is a Japanese word, which means, what does it mean? It means a lot of things to me. It's a verb meaning to look, but look really intently and take in as much as you can in one short moment, but it's also a homophone of another word which means long rain. So it's got multiple meanings attached to it. So this poem is called Nagame. The fog dyes the sky the color of paint, water rolling down a hill, like the one he died on, maybe. He is a red neon cross this time, and I am caught between two winds, pointing out churches like dusty planets in the inky fading west. I'll find my own North Star. A city dies and keeps on living. Many things to many people, tucked inside their rooms amid shifting smoke and amber streetlights, saying just slow down. So I stand up and walk, slow enough to trace my footsteps. We all love a story. I had porridge for breakfast today, and my favorite color is blue. And when everything I say sounds the same, maybe I'll be one of you. The houses cast in a pale pink glow by the cathedral's halogen watchmen. I lean over my shoulder to catch her skyward figure, stopped still, thinking Nagame. Long eye, long gaze, long rain, long way, and flat-footed down the hill to home. Come on, quick.
And I hope you share many other poems with us in the future. Next up is M. Egan Reeve.
I'll just stand like this. Hi everyone. This is sorry. This poem is called Ballyrossode with my cousin John. Recalling a summer spent in West Cork water, knee-high, trousers turned up onto thighs, shirtless and sweaty, unrestricted, plump with the buccal fat of prepubescence. Our bodies didn't matter so much then, any passerby would have thought us the same. And though our mother's blood ran through both of our veins and our feet clung in, stuck to, squelched through the same unforgiving mud, seemed to me there was a ravine between us. One not seen in the toddler days, family home, sharing bathwater and babbles, brewing like small and anxious crabs, developing in grandmother's words, too fast, tactile rib cages holding nothing but youth, tiny gums not broken yet, skin of the teeth unutilized, hair on our heads, dry downy fluff, gently waving yet to be baptized. Never submerged, 20 years till that comes. Salty beards, scruff and beers don't yet cross our minds. Just childish presumption that sharing our lives would be a given. But the years pass by and the distance expands and the creases on the palms of my hands deepen, now in water again, flowing faster, now men, chest deep this time with weight lifted from mine, each's feelings of fierce inferiority realized in Atlantic shallows. Previous images of ourselves left folded, neat, tucked in the drawers back home. For me, scar tissue settled under the brass, still angry and red as the first worms out of the soil upon spring rain, or the first tiny rock pool dwelling creatures that greet us here today, or the face my mother made when I told her not to pray and instead to wait and see. Her son and you, cousin, feel as insignificant as the words you speak, bravado apparently stolen by the crisp coastal breeze, immersed to the shoulders so wide that I envy, you know the power that you hold, but your head is falling heavy. Still you can, so can I, look up to the sky, a fissure of light from which seagulls emerge. Heaven sent, I grieve a lost boyhood, you laugh among their cause. Thank you.
Garmaga, I love your work. So we're going to go Erlina back online to Jeff. Jeff, are you there?
I'm there. Hi. Okay, so I'm sure I've done this one here before, but I'm doing it again. Congratulations. So this is about how everyone gets writer's block, even the great poets, even the great World War I poet Wilfred Owen surely struggled once in a while. So this is called Wilfred Owen's Off Day. Damn this war! Oh, the pity of it. The pity. What pity? It's all just so very, very bad. I just get so sick of it all. So many atrocities and stuff. Those cannons are too bloody loud, and so are the planes. Those planes, they're all so plain full of it. Damn this war. Oh, damn this war to hell. I don't like it very much. I don't like all the corpses. Oh, those smelly, smelly corpses. And the fellow marching over there has stupid boots. And the food rations, now they leave something to be desired too. And we're all bent double, just like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, cursing through... Oh, wait, I've done that bit before. All the dead. So many dead around here. Short days ago, they lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now I'm cribbing the Canadian fellow. Damn this war. Maybe I ought to throw in some Latin. Dulce e decorum est, conditus manducere pupillum? Nolite te bastardis carborundum, deformis stultus, estet infantibus assimilatur, ipso facto, veni vidi vici, voulez-vous coucher avec mon beau-frère? Damn this war! It's all a load of crap and bad things, like a bad thing that nobody likes because it's so bad. As bad as a piece of stinking war. Damn this war. Fuck this shit. Just shoot me now, you swines. Thank you. That was Wilfred Owen's off day. Thank you. Before I go, I think I can confirm now I will be live at Ovale this November as one of the features. So please mark that down. November 11th.
Thanks very much, Jeff Good. I look forward to November. Okay, book me the ride with the wonderful Jim Crickard.
He's in America. Canada. Government scale. Die gríomh úsle tá dánaháin go mascuilga. Níl mé lífa ach tá bródarm because it was hard. When I made that root on poem. Okay, so it's called Ag Fanacht an Fragra. And basically it's this idea that I go into a church to ring God, to ask for some help. Tasdian technical support uim limachel. Gach rod brishta. Nila isagum kadatala yenov. Marshin. Honig me stak sa shepil. Titim shies megluina. Hóg me phone polka agus cuir me is hia. Níl amach ag fannacht an lína go dtí a dóigh sa bhaidin. Scríomh me an email ó hia agus dag me amach an freagra. Tá na srádanna cosúil leis an ihe na marmh bio. Gach duine as a bheára ag taistil scelóga coricáis le do hol. Jas me isteach san lína na taxi agus thosaigh me ag smaoinemh cosúil Carrie Bradshaw a riomhar. Tá méid dul bhaile muín na hordóige. Nach bhfuil me ag dul trasna mo héal muín na hordóige. Níl amach ag an passionéir an turas na héal gan is thosaigh me ag fécint na síalse agus na crín leis an aghaidh cosúil a chean boundarí in Hollywood. Suamhnas I mo chrí, bloch curry I mo thrón. An sin, fuair me an email ón contact centre na dhia. A Hamish, fuair me de ceistena agus beg freagra agat nuair a fuair tú bás. Sin, inis, líon na bear níla de hol. An raibh tú sásta leis an freagra le meas Íosa CEO na Hale.
Next up, we've Niall Hearn. Hope I said your name right now. Hearn.
This poem is about a story that my granny used to tell us about her and her sister when they were kids on a farm in Cavan. So it's called Cavan Apples. Daddy was a mean man who was always kind, and when he was born his daddy planted the apple tree, the one we'd always climb. Custard and crumble for tea is what he ate, his eyes closed for any fierce debate. My love, my gals, you're the apple of my eyes. He'd let the next words go with a sigh. Please don't pick the apples from the tree when ye play. You know I feed 'em to the horses, a little treat with their hay. We were wee lasses, after school we'd play. We'd run in the fields and skip through each day. We'd always pick the apples when Daddy was away. One day we saw him gone, bringing cattle over on, and there our divilment did start. But as our skirts bundled the apples, sure they grew too heavy to hold. Now Christ we knew would be in for a scold. When then we saw Daddy coming up the lane, with Jesus, Mary and Joseph, we all scampered away, and left the apples rolling down, clear as day. Didn't I tell ye don't pick and eat, or you'll too know what it's like to be bruised, rotten and weak. And this is our final warning. Through spoons of custard was given. Daddy didn't like us picking, and we knew if we did we'd get a licking. When we were safe and sound in bed we shared, my sister turned to whisper to my ear, "And now don't you worry, my dear, don't I have a plan? I won't tell you what, but I'll tell you when. Just know it won't be long till we're belly full with sweet sour apple again." The morning woke us and we woke him, although unknowingly so. We played with the chicken and patted the pigs, and when our bellies grumbled, we knew the plan was rigged. So up the tree we went, the same tree many hours we'd spent. Up the branches, up so high, we filled our bellies up yet another time. And out came Daddy in a rage, the angry Paddy, waving stick and hat high. Ye divils, he let out a cry. Didn't I tell ye not to pick? Come down now, I'll give ye a taste of the stick. Oh Daddy, oh Daddy, oh Daddy, oh. You can stop your shouting, wish now and we'll tell you why, for we'd never wish to see you cry. You told us not to pick the apples, and although between us we've 10 bellyful 8, not one apple have we picked from the tree. For you told us not to pick, and pick we have not. We've crawled up to each branch, tip and top. 'Tis from here we've bitten our bellies full, and not a single apple picked or did drop. Daddy was a mean man who was always kind, and when he was born his daddy planted the apple tree, the one we'd always claim. Thank you.
The hauling now, Garmila Mahagut. And Tommy can bugger right the Patricia Walsh, our 5-word poem winner.
And this is called Blighted by Song. Gnawed by harmony, picking through works and days, seeking notices over the course of a day. The fresh paint on the counter counts the foliage. Food without dough is adventure scathed, finishing obviously slowly, leaving the station. Looking out on the street, gaping at life stories, sauntering back to small milk and original. Nothing to blow the mind, if ever at all. Calmly seated next to technology endeavour, criminal as a spar, extenuated from the fort. Small continuity error there, an acolyte to abuse, not advertising any strips or underhand classes, watching candles diminishing over an evening, observing eyeball to eyeball and overt type, loved at a distance, will stay that way, prospective rejection a cause not to celebrate. Reverting to type, a student worth desecrating, the corner curb betrays his fellow types, ripping two Chatanistas, covering losses, serve fed to the poor, handwriting believable, lost, being sorry, completely different, but have. feeding on acids, being troublesome again, ordering nutrition, trying on Pep Jersey, not being the type to descend on others, the good purpose, full of familiar, life for life, a sisterly jibe, from Bart video forever. Thank you.
Sure, Monica, Patricia. Next up is Phil Spillane. Where's he gone?
I'm here. Putting the 5-word challenge poem that I wrote, and this together you could probably figure out what chapter I'm in my life, and it's really weird. I'm enjoying it, but I'm kind of going, is it kind of raw as well at the same time? But it's very experimental, it's a lot of fun. But anyway, we'll jump into it. Poets can't keep secrets. Anyway. Yeah. You never dream of falling rain, so dream raindrops touching through the skin of a lake, chiming ripples. I never dreamt of eating blackberries. They grow fat and oily by the lake, among weed and wildflower we pick and eat. We are in a hot air balloon, eating blackberries, trying to find the lake among the puddles of other lakes. The basket is deep. The balloon is a dandelion. We are looking for the lake with the raindrops. I whisper their names while cuddling, till I fall deep into the basket and slip into the story below, tugging to the textures of the basket, trying to find a soft hold. You are larger than life and all the dreams, dimpled, dark, and all smiles. In my old bedroom, you're textured on the monitor, represented by light and pixels. I couldn't hug or hold, just dream.
Really good, Phil. Sue Blue in the house.
Thanks very much. So this is after Paul Muldoon. He did a piece in his reading, and this is what I wrote. It's got the same title as Paul Muldoon's poem. It's called MRI Experience. Brrr, tack, tack, tack. Tack, 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 tack. Grrr, tack. Grrp, 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 bee. Tack, 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 tack. Brrr, beep, beep, beep. Tack, tack, tack. Tock, tock. Tock, tock, tock. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Brrr, tack, brrt. Bzzz, tack, grrr, pick, 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 pick. Beep. Brrr, burp. Tack, 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 tack. Grrr, grrp, grrp, grrp. Tock, tock, tock. Bzzzt. Beep. Are you okay, miss? Repeat.
Arrows are pod super good. Oh, and you might translate that into Irish for us, yeah? Next up we have Mary, is it Bernard?
Okay, so I wrote this after a very intense 14-hour Dungeons and Dragons game. It's 5 a.m. and we spend 14 hours playing pretend because everything is changing and we just really love each other. The light in the room is bright, white and grey. The chairs are uncomfortable and the space is too big, but we sit gathered, hunched, our head hurts. Face red, tears on cheeks from all that laughter. It feels like fish trying to escape back into the water, slipping out of my hands, through my fingers. I need to keep it inside this feeling. I lunge at the air, trying to bring back the giggling chokes back into my body. The more I laugh, the more I lose it. It feels like I'll never be as happy as this again. I've never been as happy as this. This is mine, mine. This happiness is mine. It will stay mine. Everything else is shallow water, lukewarm. I don't text my mother. I don't text my lover. There. Something like, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see. I'll let the mackerel find its way down the river, wave a goodbye with one hand on my cheek. You will read this back when the water has turned frosty again with winter. And the moment will stay exactly here, for only us to remember.
Thanks very much, Mary. Next up is Cedric.
Thank you very much, Philip, for this piece, because he's the one who inspired this to me. Looking at my at this, it's not really a notebook; it's actually an agenda from 2014 that I've been scribbling on since up until now. And the title of this poem is Agenda of 2014. It starts with a cybersecurity nightmare. A few corporate passwords, barely encrypted, they will never know. The notebook is meant to keep my mind in order, and there are very early signs that chaos is already creeping in. More passwords and dates fighting for the endless space of spread out pages outside of my thoughts. Almost there, I wrote in January 1st. The following empty sheets are formal. My willpower did not make it. This agenda is a knot on a handkerchief, a reminder that I need reminders. What did I forget? Oh, the poem, Caught on Time. An ugly fly and its splatter, marking the line slammed shut onto its fleeing body. Its death was the debut of my legacy. May this organizer be part of my glory. Most likely post-mortem. When someone unwittingly finds this talisman sealing pieces of my soul, maybe through the glued leaves, the dotted I's and the crossed T's, or the ink that transpired, tell them something beyond the fantasies. What in the brain, in the guts, in the balls, and the heart, the scripted flies fed upon, once my body can no longer be found. The agenda is reaching its end. A few pages left. Almost there. I can almost read it, but it's already written. A few notes, some forsaken accounting, upside down recipes, mundane shopping list. It never fulfilled the purpose it was meant for. A messenger of my end beyond my means. I thank my witness. Agenda of 2014.
Lovely, Cedric. Thank you. Next up, we have, is it Louise? Hi.
So this piece has been kind of bouncing around in my head for a long time. So I'm hoping that saying it out loud for once will actually put a stop to that. So it's called the PPFU. Tell me why I want you. Tell me why the part of my brain that sings writes songs for you. The notes get scrambled and my head feels heavy, but it always comes back to you. Have you ever heard it? The pining of the red-breast robin. The melody so fast yet slow. J'aimerais que tu sois là. mais je sais que tu ne veux pas de tout ça. When you're with me, I'm glowing, caught in the margins between. In your absence, I wander further than l'homme de 500 000. Never did I think we'd be here, ruffled sheets in blue, above the mold ensues, and yet still I'm infatuated by you. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. And I'm pretty sure it's Louise's first time at O'Vale. Didn't you say that? Yeah, so fair play to you. Wow, amazing, good woman. Kieran, sorry I managed to skip you a second ago. You're up. Kieran McCarthy. Come on, Kieran.
How are we? Yeah, just to follow up on what Julie was saying a little while ago, we'd love to see you down at this event if you're around. It's called Feed Gaza, and it's an event that we're basically doing as a benefit gig for people of Palestine at the moment, for obvious reasons, and yeah, we really appreciate your support. It's going to be absolutely savage. It's going to be a really, really good day. It's a really nice lineup. The savage lineup is kind of on the bottom of that poster there by the door. But it, yeah, it's a good mix of acts. McBokra playing, Julie's playing with She Loves Calpol, the Choke Collective are playing, and there's a whole different bunch of acts there. So yeah, if you're around, there's a ticket link there on the poster, and yeah, we'd love to see you down there. So thanks a lot. It's a poem I wrote recently when we were coming home from Italy. I sit looking out at the last days of Rome. In the tree opposite the balcony, I count 12 parrots. They must love the fruit. I wonder what the fruit is, but I don't know. My tobacco has the dry, flaky feel, indicating entry into the last fifth of the packet. A jar of butts next to me is approaching the brim to say it's been a good relapse. I consider the reflection of sunlight on the tiles and how the slant of winter is not so sharp here, milder in its touch. I wonder what I'll miss of Rome, what I'll do with all the time I've saved not walking behind sauntering Romans taking 25 minutes to go on a 15-minute walk. Wonder how I'll get by without access to cacio e pepe, arancini, pomodoro supli, endless pinza, and melanzana parmigiana. I consider the other thinkers who've assessed their leaving of Rome. I wonder what they wondered about, what they considered a loss in the ending of their time. Thank you.
We're going to jump online to Massimo. You there? Back of my head.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. When I was a child, I played as a child and thought as a child, waiting until I could grow up to become a man and then not be a child. But now I'm a man, and all that I want is to walk as a child. I miss my innocence. I cannot live in a world that is not for a child. I can pretend to be grown, but I can't pretend to be home. I'll never pretend that this world full of everyone else's was never my own. People may help me remember, or I may remember alone. I can pretend to forget, but I cannot pretend that it never was known. Whenever in doubt, think of my mother and love at my birth. Whenever in pain, think of the strength of my father and what it was worth. Whenever in darkness, see it as shadow and know that the light must come first. I came to the earth, but came before earth and refused to lay under the dirt. But my body is growing, my voice getting deeper and deeper. Dreams that I weave in my sleep seeming to creep and catch up with the sleeper. All of the seeds that I've sown, if only I'd known that I am the reaper. So many gates I wouldn't have opened if I had known I was the keeper. Maybe it's good to reflect, but that doesn't mean that it's good to regret. Sometimes it's not what I want, but what I don't want that it's good that I get. My life's like a lover who hurt me. It's good to forgive, but not good to forget. But that is convenient. That is convenient amnesia because I have been wrong and it's good to admit. I've been a fool, I've been a liar, I have done physical harm. I am a sinner, my thoughts have done violence without my physical arm. I have used pity to disarm the world as a ploy just to kill it with charm. I would cry wolf as a child until I was scared I could hear the alarm. But I wasn't so wrong, saw an example and followed along. How could I not commit sin? Creatures all sin on the rock that I'm on. Some say that death is the wages of sin, but I never thought I could be gone. I may be young, but I feel the twilight of... I may be young, but I feel the twilight of life, so I call for the dawn. But who do I call to? Who is there other than me I can talk to? Where is there somewhere to go? Where I am now is the place I must walk through. Where is the power that made me and did for me what I know well I could not do? How could it not be inside me? There can be no other place it has gone to. So instead of the heavens, I pray to the love of remembrance. The prophets and pages have paper-thin messages. They cannot take my dimensions. Memory holds the whole book of my life without needing to even the edges. Only the child I was can remember the truth with no need for a message. But he needs no message. But for me, he's the message. It is his body I wear that has grown to this day that I keep as a vestige. It is his life I remember and keep as a reason the world is still precious. Because I can still remember the world is the world I remember, and that's where my strength is. Because when I was a child, I played as a child and thought as a child, waiting until I could grow up to become a man and then not be a child. But now I'm a man, and all that I want is to walk as a child. I miss my innocence. I cannot live in a world that is not for a child. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you.
Your mom, Massimo, thank you. We're going to continue. Massimo's in the States, am I right? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Good man. Going to continue with the lovely Louis McCarthy. 5-year-old. Oh, Jesus, he says.
Lovely. Oh, glasses. Sorry, lads. I came here with 2 poems prepared in English. I got a shock when I realised the night was mainly devoted to things in Irish. So I pulled out a couple in Irish, but I'll read the translation first. Croach Mhórthain. This is ostensibly about a hill, a mountain which rises from our back field. On one side is that mountain, and in front of it then is the ocean, and the next place you can see is New York. Croach Mhórthain. When I look at you, my constant, level-headed gem, in your fine, transparent cloak, my breath takes flight. I like you at midday, the sun outlining your form, and again in the evening twilight, a fond moon adorning your head. But I prefer you at break of day, with dawn dew soft on your cheek, shy sun gazing sideways on your soul that lies half naked. At times like that, my blood surges, turns my head, awakens desire. Croach Mhórthain. Éilíonn má náil nuair a éacam ort mo cheol de stúrma hasabach iad clócha míad tréarchach. Is malam tú I lára lé, darmh na gréine crut agus drach. Is a ríiste glab hollas tháineóna gealach cheanú le maisiú a cín. agus fearlam fadú ag go breca lé. Is trocht na maidine go buggur de grua. Solas cútha le féach an clíochánach danam a líon leannacht. Ag na hamananta san. Tag an ráirt in chuid fulla. A éitir míon mo chorp. A chasan mo cheann. A bhús go líon fám. Thank you.
Louis. And that's from his brand new collection, which was launched in Saturn, as part of Bieltna, Sedangan. So Gunnar Lat. Next up we have, is it Nia?
So this piece is called Melancholy in the Sun. I'm a tree in a park surrounded by other trees. Everyone else is blossoming into the new season. They're all growing, creating big, colorful leaves. Their leaves and branches are flowing, moving to the beat of the wind. They take in every dash of sunshine and absorb every drop of rain. Then why are my leaves drying up? Why are they falling down? One by one, I am losing my leaves, as if it was winter. My branches and trunk too are drying up, steadily becoming weak. I'm not flowing to the beat of the wind, just like the others are. Why are my roots ejecting the water they are supplied with? Instead of absorbing the water to grow, I'm drowning in it. Thank you.
You're being a mom, and it's your first time at Ovail as well tonight, isn't it? No, not really. The three of you and all three of you read. You're being a mom. Okay, and Daniel up next. Sorry. Brilliant.
I have been told after I wrote this that this is a very trans poem, and I feel like I should translate it into Gaeilge. So I need to do a lot more Gaeilge now for the next few months. But so this is called Force to be Reckoned With. I have dreamt and seen you in manners I cannot conceive, nor do I wish to be scried or scribed. I have seen you in the moments of your first breath, steps, paddle, waddles, scratches, and tears. I've seen you in my arms, and I have held you so tight I feared you would burst like the balloon I was given at your birth. What I feared the most is if I loosened, just a little bit, that the balloon would find someone better, more trustworthy, more natural. For I cannot have you, but you have slept in the beds that I have made. I've smoothed over your linens night after night, and I will do so for many more if it means that you won't have to feel discomfort. I've cooked meals upon meals, set the table knowing it would be unset, but not caring because you deserve to be fed. You deserve to live, to laugh, and if we dare, to love. No strings attach us, and I wouldn't want them to. You are all encompassing. You have postponed and prematured and predicted. You have been a joy and an ache, and all I want to do is love you well and true. I have become an ocean and a gentle kiss, and subsided both to be alone and young and human. For you do not breathe, and when you do, you will not be mine, for I am not made for such things. I've held you in arms that cannot feel, and fed you with food that will not grow. I will not subject you to that which is out of my control, so within you remain, in dreams unconceived, unscribed.
Daniel. I think the future of poetry is fairly safe, isn't it? You know, to be fair. Okay, May Jeanette, is it Fast? Cool name. Okay.
So I wrote this poem when I was quite vulnerable. So it was a ranting poem, you know how it goes. So but as I was feeling these emotions, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna channel these into a poem. So as the poem goes on, you see it go from like ranting and then back into like, no, it goes like this, ranting, and then back into focus. So just take that in mind. It's called Because I always write my poems like at once, like in one go. I always envied poets who were like, you know, knew what they were doing. So this is called a fuck your ode. Because does it make me weak that I lie there bundled up in a pathetic mimicry of an unborn baby fetus position, shivering and shaking, unable to stretch out my limbs, for I'm afraid if I move, my reality will break? Will I untangle myself and open my eyes and see that you're not there in my life anymore? Does it mean I'm weak if I can't stop these wretched tears from procreating on my face as I scramble to take back any words that has cursed me into this living hell as soon as they made you walk out that door? Will I open this door and be blinded by these tears and my emotions and miss the last chance I have by grabbing your hand and pulling you back into my arms? Am I weak for not being able to retain oxygen and not being able to prevent my chest from falling victim to a black hole and collapsing in on itself in succession to my ears bleeding from your goodbye? Unable to experience any healing without the sound of your voice echoing through with your laughter? Is weakness really crying out your name to the dark, begging for your skin against mine, because my soul has frozen over in an all-encompassing purgatory, where my eyes, full of past happiness I'd get just from looking at you, lay just out of reach from my fingertips, and my shoes that contain my motivation and efforts to move forward are hanging too high over a floor of fitted glass on fire, coated in venom and disease. Because I would walk till my feet are splintered and mangled, and I'd have stubs of flesh exposed like shredded paper. If it meant I could find even a way to climb the tower of marble coated in ice where those shoes hang, if it meant I could use them to walk back beside you. I'd welcome the dark, be baptized in it, reborn in it, molded by it, living my aggressive fear of it. I'd spend close to an eternity in relentless, endless black suffering, blindly touching wasp stings and bitten by ants like bullets and shark teeth and obsidian blades, in search of those eyes of mine, so I may see you one more time. Does not matter if my hands are also shaved off, because once I find yours, nothing would stop me from defying the laws of physics and regenerating them just to hold yours again. Because I'll dedicate my life and eternity into perfecting alchemy, so I can learn to live on carbon dioxide and nitrogen and soot and asbestos, and no matter how unnatural and how agonizing and how torturous, just so I could have a voice for when you need reassurance and assurances, when you're doubting yourself again, and to be reminded that you are so much more than you believe. So I can make jokes and may continue to laugh. The laugh that warms the world. And God forbid I'll coup d'etat his ass. I'll fucking do it anyways. And I'll take the salty tears of mine and I'll shake them rigorously into rivers and I'll spread them into lakes and build them together like Lego into vast bottomless oceans and take those feared words of mine and compress them into mountains and even a big boulder that I'll push up a hill over and over. But I'll do it like a dog playing fetch. I'll whip these emotions into the shape of a lasso that I'll use to pull you into my fucking arms, okay? So watch me pressure myself so hard, I'll turn my fetal shape into a diamond dragon's egg, and my natural intention and reaction will be to move and shatter this false reality I've created for myself in my head. I'll stretch out my limbs all over you and tangle myself up all in you. I've opened my eyes. I see you. I see that you're still here. You haven't left me. So fuck off to anyone, including myself, who thinks that my love doesn't just make me stronger.
Gur míle mágat, méidir net fest, gur míle mágat. Carol B.
I've got one that's very short and one that's a bit longer and slightly darker. Maybe some of you can relate. Kidnapped in an adult trap. Playtime is stray time. Grow up, head down. Don't frown, be polite. Only always do what's right. Fuck that. Wear a silly hat. Call in sick. Play with the cat. Live life. That's that. And this is the second one then. I wish I could go to a place where nothing made sense, where there's no right and wrong, no thoughts of mine and yours. A place where words aren't needed and actions cause no harm. I wish I didn't have to search for happiness. It could be the reason for someone else's. I wish I could sit and watch the sunset, but never see it drop below the horizon. Just bask in its crimson warmth before a blanket of darkness wraps you in the cold of night. I wish I'd savored the past, so I'd be more prepared for the future. I wish the future wouldn't steal me my thoughts away from the present. I wish your eyes could tell me more. Does a stare mean you care? Is there a feeling for revealing? I wish I knew what happened to you. What could I do, now torn in two? I wish that I might understand this place, to remove this expression from my face. I wish that I was the wind in the trees, or a stone at the bottom of the sea. I wish that I could just be free. Thank you.
You're Margaret Carl. I have two names left on the open mic. Next up is Noel King. Point road.
Thanks very much. This is my next book. It's launched at Liscroll Writers Week on the 31st of May. It's suitably music for review from Sound Vision Press, and the cover is made by AI. And it's a collection of surrealist poems. Hand me my life. Your hands carry the strength of wise old trees, whose edges of branches slapped my childhood bedroom window. A dumb show plasters our faces, a look for other drinkers in this bar. Front for our closeness, thoughts, consolation, conversations to each other's hearts. We liken the mists of our individual lives, lovers we have now, and one for you from the past, likening the softness of trees to the business of our hearts. I condition myself to time, make maximum use of it, moments that take me on epic adventures to ponder until we next meet, when renewal will gain fresh confidence. My style I weave from you, my hero, while my return is more practical. Now your touch is the root of it, from hence I follow to my new world. Thank you very much. 31st of May at 11 o'clock in the morning in the Store Library, and there'll be, even though it's 11 o'clock in the morning, there'll be a glass of wine.
Gachra Earth Noel. Best of luck. Brilliant. I am delighted to welcome from behind the bar Alexandra Toth. Out you come. Will you please say your surname to me? Toth, sorry.
I'll say Toth.
It was
It's
Toth, so
easier.
I obviously picked the wrong one. But
No, you're fine. The first time I was called out here, they said Alexander the 10th, so you did better.
That sounds good as well, though.
Yeah. So, so about a month ago, I went through a very hard breakup. With the person that I kind of imagined my future with. We talked about the future and stuff. So I kind of had to lead to like kind of protect myself and my self-worth in a way. And then this poem talks about kind of the confusing emotions that went on inside my brain for a few weeks. So I'll just say one more thing as well. So at the end of this poem, I mention a deity called Hecate. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hecate. And this was a goddess of crossroads. So she was there for people. He's nodding. You always know the deities when I talk about these in my poems. Yeah, so she was the goddess of crossroads. So she was there at like a life-changing event, so like birth, rebirth, and death. So this poem is called Confinement of the Mind. She was trapped like never before, imprisoned by turmoil, confined by the state of disorientation. She was in a trance, failing to distinguish between reality and deception, facing both the truth and the lies the world has to offer. trying to decipher the words that leave the mouth of those near her. Lies or truth, she asked, enlighten her confused mind. She was hurt like never before, fighting the battles between her mind and heart. For her heart couldn't let go, but her mind craved peace and freedom. Let go. You know your self-worth, her soul whispered. She was losing herself like never before, for her hopefulness, positivity, and peacefulness were always present. She was now being filled with rage, disappointment, and resentment, not only screaming at the world, but at herself too. Bring me back my true self, she begged. She was pretending like never before. She was joy, but has recently turned into tribulation. Where one moment her bright smile dazzles you, but next you know, her eyes silently beg for help. Who will be my savior, my escape? She asked. She was self-healing like never before, dreaming of a future where she's no longer weighed down by betrayal, uncertainties, doubt, hoping for a near future where she finds herself again. She will rise again, but she will no longer be who she used to be. She will be stronger, more powerful. What's worse than the burning flames of hell, she asked the deities, the confinement of the mind, Cassie answered.
Mahu, Alexandra, and if that's just a month ago, fair play to you, you're doing fairly well now, in fairness. Well done. What a beautiful evening. It's so lovely to see everyone and get to spend time amongst my tribe. Gurmila Mahogif, and can we give a big bula bus for Ona Marcoux and Joanne McCarthy, or McAvoy. Jesus, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, Mila Breakers. Yeah. So soon come go bring Shubsha, Sue Bossanita. Okay, Gurmila Mahogif, Agus Taranash, Megan, you know. Sorry, yeah. Gurmila Mahogif, Agus people who don't have to get up at 6:30 a.m. or maybe you are, I don't know, or going to Maine's Wine Bar. Enjoy, stand live. Sorry.